What's up, party people, and hello, my friends. It's your girl, Welcome to China, and welcome to my channel. And y'all already know I have a special guest. You guys know we do this every week. Now, it just depends on what day, but we promise we're always here, are we not?
You know we are.
We are. Introduce yourself. Go ahead.
Hey, thank you again. Welcome to China. So much for inviting me to the channel. I'm LeB.A.P, and so is my YouTube channel. So you can find me there doing Monday positive news commentary, Blythe magazines, and furry shorts too. So if you find yourself interested, please visit. And if you like what you see, please subscribe.
And that's what I'm talking about. Hey, it's not an ask, it's a demand. Make sure you guys subscribe to his channel. Great content, and you'll see today by this conversation. So the proof will be in the pudding. All right, so we already know what's on the agenda today is we're going to be talking about Miss Zaya Wade. So good, bad, or indifferent, this has been a trending topic for months. It kind of comes and goes. And this is the first time I've publicly spoken about this. And I don't like talking about kids. If you're under the age 18, I even feel bad talking about teenagers in general. I made so many mistakes when I was a teenager. And I changed a lot. I found myself. And yeah, it's just life. I think everyone knows that. So we're going to talk about Zaya Wade today. How are you feeling before we get into our feelings on it? But how do you feel about this? Have you been hearing about it or before this?
Well, definitely one thing I want to say that I am feeling very excited for Zaya Wade, for her celebrating her 14th birthday, and for being there for her parents being there for her and being so supportive. I do have some personal feelings that I want to express about the topic because it's controversial at the time, and we're definitely going to get into it. But I also, if I might say a little bit of a disclaimer, do you mind that? So I want to give a bit of a disclaimer before we start on the topic, and say that this is a very controversial topic at this time, and I will most likely say things that some viewing won't agree with and possibly frustrated with. It's not to attack others, but to express as a queer Black man my perspective on the topics at hand. And I also want to express that since I am not a trans Black man or woman, that I will be doing the best to be verbally and expressively respectful towards the trans and non-binary community as much as I can. But if I do slip up, I apologize now in advance.
And me as well. I know, when we're talking about, changing our pronouns, and I've had people in my life change pronouns, just for example, working politics. It's something we get used to. 10 years ago, we didn't put our different pronouns, up, when Zoom calls or things like this. We can do that now. And I think it's definitely necessary. So I'm excited. I'm glad that you did that disclaimer as well. We're all learning here. And then also something you touched on, it is Pride Month. So I must say, and that is something that the viewer should know, that you're bringing a perspective as well as you identify as a gay man. And you're also a Black man. So you're also a gay man of color. So with that being said, that's the thing within itself. So we're going to get into it, all that today.
We're definitely about to get into it.
We're going to talk about it.
So excited.
All right. So first thing that comes to mind when I found out about Zaya Wade, and this is going to be an open dialogue for everyone. We're just going to talk about it and, see how we feel. Dwayne Wade, as we know, is a huge basketball player. So we'll start there because if it wasn't no D Wade, even before Gabrielle Union, because Zaya is not Gabrielle Union's biological daughter. This is her stepmother and her stepdaughter. This was D Wade's child with his former wife, I believe, his ex-wife.
Right.
And we learned a lot about Zaya as she started to get older, but Zaya is only 14. So as I said before, it's a little touchy to talk about. Anyway, but of course, when Gabrielle Union comes into the picture, things have changed. They're a Hollywood couple. And I think that for me, D Wade being so open and accepting about Zaya being a Black man, not just being a Black man, but being considered the epitome of manliness, of being masculine. He was an NBA player, a legend.
Yes.
He's an NBA Hall of Famer. He's going to be one day be a Hall of Famer, a basketball legend. Everyone knows who D Wade is. So I think for a lot of people, the backlash, which we're talking about today, are coming from the people who are like, this, how is he agreeing with these things? D Wade has said a lot of different things, even about, him and Gabrielle Union in the bedroom. He says that he doesn't mind a little tickle by his bottom, or, but for, cisgender men, that's oh, no, no, people don't even want to talk about those things. That's talking about sex and all that. But that's how I kind of heard about Zaya Wade, and seeing other people's feedback is the reason why I want to have this conversation. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and give your monologue and your feelings about it, and we'll go from there.
Awesome. And you hit right on the nail. It's about the platform because of Dwayne Wade being a black man and his audience, which are usually more likely cis black men as well. And so to have these topics come up that usually aren't what are talked about in that community, it can get a little bit more frustrated or intense because it's just the unknown. Because, so first of all, I am very supportive of Zaya Wade, like I said, and I commend her for simply existing and having a platform to be represented by her father, And that's the controversy, I think, is that her existence on that platform. And so it's one of these things.
A huge platform. That's a huge point that you made. It's D Wade also being that famous, and her platform being that famous as well.
Yes, exactly. So she is, no matter what anyone says, an icon, someone people will be inspired by and heavily respected for. And like I said, simply existing and being her authentic self, Yeah. Yes. That's part of it. And so when I see parents like Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union, and I cannot help but feel an abundance of honor for them to show the world that you can love your child no matter who they become or become to be, and not force them to be something that they are not. Yeah. So what do you have feelings based off of that?
So I agree. I think that first, my thing is I don't believe in commenting on people's kids. Like I know we're doing commentary, but I don't have kids, so I'd be like, okay, it's everything subjective. I'm very biased because I have I have uncles who are gay. I have people who are in my family who are LGBTQ plus, and a lot of school, all those things. I have people who are very close to me who are a part of the community. So I'm very, when I soften when I hear those things. So when it comes to me talking about those things, I'm going to be very biased. I'm always make you go be happy, do your thing. And I the only thing that I question, not even I would say a question, but I would say something worth talking about, is the age of Zaya with transitioning. Now, a lot of people believe 18, when you can make your own decisions, and maybe you're not the parents. A lot of parents who say those things may not be for it. Some parents feel just wait, things change. Also, it's a lot of men who, are more feminine, who identify as gay. I feel sometimes, for example, I had a gay best friend way back in the day, just high school stuff. And when we go out, they would think we were boyfriend and girlfriend. I feel if people would think if we were to go out because of how you carry yourself, I feel it can go either way. But do you get what I'm saying?
No,
we've talked about that before, almost.
That actually happened with some of my
Okay, so because it's different. It's you're not flamboyant. You colors and all those things are fine, but you're not wearing what Zaya has on. People aren't necessarily you just dress. I mean, I don't know how to say how you dress, but I guess more. How do you explain it?
I dress very I would say it depends on the day, but usually it does have it comes out more with my mannerisms. So I have my best friend, one of my good friends, Alicia. We'll be just talking out on the street, and people would think that we're a cute couple, and I'm just like, no. And then finally, they'll just look at me for 5 more seconds.
Oh, and then they'll be,
and they're like, oh, okay, I get it now. Literally.
Yeah. So outer things that people look at and care about are sometimes shallow. I feel, but a lot of times I don't know why that came to my mind, but I don't know. It's a lot of visual things that we see. But anyway, back to the point of whether it's too early or not. Does that ever cross your mind? As I'm asking you the question, I'm thinking about it. I guess for myself to answer as well. I think it was my child. I think that I think for a fact that I think you can definitely know and start to see those signs come through. I think by the age of 14, whether Zaya decided to transition or not, they would know that maybe one day Zaya would want to, or want to become a woman one day as she is. But Zaya hasn't, to my knowledge, gotten like a, down there like a sex change per se. I'm not sure because of ages. But that's when I feel like it becomes a lot. And I've done an interview on like my Diva Dive before with like a trans, like a couple, like a trans gender male before. And I know that getting bottom surgery is no joke. That's one thing. I've watched a lot of research on that. Like those things interest me. I've seen the True Lives and all the things, as silly as it may sound. But I know one thing I know is that that's not easy, especially for an adolescent. And I can't imagine having anything going on with my body or anything, during that time. You change hormones, it's a lot. So I think people are maybe looking too deep into it. Zaya is just dressing and expressing. I see Zaya wear nails and, the Pradas and the dresses with Gabrielle, and I think that's fine. I think it's just more so that they call her trans, but I'm like, what is the definition of being transgender?
Well, one thing I definitely feel like you hit the nail on the head was.
I'm sorry, I talked for so long. I'm so
oh
sorry.
No, it's okay, it's good. What you hit the nail on the head was that I also don't like talking about other people's kids, especially about how other people raise their kids.
Yeah.
So when I see all these comments on this year-old girl, and I'm like, it's kind of like, it's like they were never taught that lesson. Like these are two supportive parents supporting their child, and you're like commenting negatively about how they're raising their own child when that child is happy, that child is supported, that child is safe, that child has a community. And I don't know what more you would want for a child, for a 14-year-old. And so to ridicule and criticize somebody on how they want to raise their own child, I think it's very, because most people who are saying this probably.
Let's be real here. The people who are saying this, we're both black. I don't see. I see Harper's Bazaar. I see all of the white media outlets do fashion, Vogue. All these people showing Zaya's birthday party, talking about her fashion. Because Zaya, people think it's ugly. I see black people online talking about she got on rope stoppers and ant clickers, and people talking about her eccentric style and all these things. And it's disappointing to me that I see my people saying, this is him. This is my son. That's his son. That's his son. Fine. But we're still black people, and it hurts me to see my people talking so foul and nasty about other people's kids. Let somebody say something about your rat ass, gang banging ass, foul ass son, or somebody else who got some tough kids, then it'd be a problem.
Right.
And but D-Wade got enough money and enough resources, I'm sure, for Zaya to be okay.
Yes. And so now this next part is about to get real personal.
Okay.
So when I see people, especially in the black community, misgender her, slander her and her parents, look down on their family for choosing to be an accepting family, and ultimately hate her and her family for this, it really reminds me of my relationship with my community as a black person, the black community.
Let's talk about that.
Yes. Unfortunately, I have been targeted by my own black peers for my queerness. And I still cannot be in certain neighborhoods till this day unless I modify my expression to hide, which I never will.
So you're saying what? So you're saying modifying as what? So you have on a beater, so people wouldn't think, oh, he's gay. Just a surface of what people say. I know I hate saying this. Oh, that makes you look gay. Or you see that thing circulating with the hand. It's like, oh, you want to know. Like things like that. I know are just so like just horrible stereotypes of gay black men or men. So how do you change?
I don't. And that's the
so
thing.
You don't. Okay.
I don't change. My defense mechanism actually is me being consistently meet my authentic self.
Did you used to
walk? Literally.
Did you ever used to change yourself?
Huh?
Did you ever at one point change yourself? And did you ever have to realize, like, no, this is bringing me back if I'm not myself?
Yeah, it was too hard for me too. Even as a young kid, even at the, like you said, like this does happen. Like people notice, especially within their child at a young age. Technically, I came out at the age of 3. Shocking. So shocking, because my mother literally asked me one day, Reese, would you rather kiss, well, that's my real name, Cookie LeB.A.P, but
he's like Cookie LeB.A.P, but
Reese, would you rather kiss a boy or a girl? At the age of 3, I said a boy. That I literally came out to her right
I
then
love that.
and there.
But I have very close family members. And my grandma has told me, you just know, and you can tell because it's like little things, but not wanting. I'm not gonna say my family member. She's like, he didn't want to go outside. He wanted to chill with me. He liked to hang out in the kitchen with his mama. Like he liked to cook and watch me do my makeup type thing. Like he liked, and I knew that he didn't want to go play ball with his brothers or little things like that. When you're a child, seem innocent or a little surface, but I feel that.
And it's something my mother already prepared for at that age for, and she knew how the world was going to treat me, and she was such
Thank you,
an ally. Like I can't, like right now. I know my mom watches this too. Thank you.
Mama.
I really appreciate you, especially on Pride Week. You have made sure and raised a very confident and happy gay Black man because of your support.
Yes.
Appreciate her for that.
Shout out to Cookie LeB.A.P's mama. Yes, mama. And and you can relate to having a supportive parent, and that's something that's not as often as we would like, and it's a blessing.
I respect Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union. It kind of almost brings tears to my eyes to have that supportive structure because I know how important that is, especially Black queer folks.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, unfortunately in my community though, I didn't get that much support, and they wouldn't give me that support if I didn't modify my expression, which I could never do. I never could deepen my voice. I never could change my mannerisms that were considered too feminine. I never could do that. That was not part of me. And so unfortunately, I am not welcome in some spaces in the Black community. And if I was existing in those spaces, it could be life-threatening for me.
So what spaces?
Examples of some spaces.
And you're from Chicago as well. So let's say that. Also, Cookie LeB.A.P is from Chicago. So big city, everybody's seen the shot. We know people get down. But anyway, go ahead.
Outside Stony Island.
Okay, Stony Island.
Oh yes, definitely. Eating eating subs at tourists, all of that. Okay. So there are some examples of some spaces that come to mind. Like one that's very more of a simple space that I am always hesitant is the barbershop. The barbershop.
And didn't you just get your haircut today?
The thing, and it's a great example. Unfortunately, I got my haircut at a barbershop that was run by Albanians.
Oh.
Unfortunately, I'm very hesitant to go to barbershops that are run by heterosexual Black men because I've had very bad experiences. The last time I went, they literally started talking about a trans Black woman that they had on their phone in front of me while I was getting my haircut. I'm so serious. Misgendering her, saying...
See, that's what I'm saying. People just do it. They don't even care who around or how you sound to a stranger.
Uncomfortable. So I don't know if I didn't feel like I belonged and I was a Black man with them. It was so heartbreaking. And so, yes, I want to support my community, but will the community even accept me if I come at the door? That's why I want to support Black businesses, but do Black businesses want me in there?
Yep, that's very true.
And so there are other examples, Black clubs. Black clubs. There are some that I do go to that I'm okay with, like the Wild Hair. It's a reggae club. I don't know if you've heard that.
No, that sounds fun.
It's so fun. But even in those clubs, I do feel a bit hesitant because I know that there are some people in there because it's a Black community. It's a club that might not like my mannerisms and my expressions. And it is very scary. It is very scary. Another thing that I tend to not be invited to are Black weddings.
What?
I don't get invited to weddings usually. No, because
you've had an example in your mind of being like, I didn't get invited to this. No, you see a trend.
I noticed that my friends tend to not give me an invite if it's a heteronormative wedding.
I don't understand. Like they won't let you. Why?
I don't get invited. It's not something that I noticed. That I've only been to one wedding, and that's my mother's, and that was at the age of 6. And then also my
have you ever said anything, or is this like a thing? Like, have you ever talked to other gay men about this?
It's something. Yes, we have talked about it, and it's
okay.
just,
And what is the?
it's just a life experience. Like weddings are considered to be a very heteronormative thing. It's kind of like a baby shower. You know, it's something that they don't see me included in a way. Like what is my space or place in there? So I usually do not get invited to weddings. It's one of those things that people don't think about. It's so these are three spaces that I actually had, like spaces that I don't see myself included in. Heteronormative weddings, barbershops, black clubs. But of course there are other spaces, but these three are the top three that come up into my mind that I have not being really included in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It's almost like hearing that and how foul people are. If I was D Wade, D Wade got a lot of balls to deal with the backlash and all that. I'm just upset for my child and the conversation that they had to have because of how foul people are and the danger. People, like, oh my God, people are ignorant if they don't think people in the LGBTQ plus community get their ass beat, get killed, hurt, and in danger, and it is scary. Stop it. These people beat people's asses. I've seen not even just trans. Trans women get beat up all the time. I've seen that countless times. Gay men get beat up all the time, or get called names, or get spit on. You with a girl, all types of shit. You go out with your friends. All these things I know. Being a cisgender woman who is LGBTQ plus friendly, I know this shit. I know it.
I have my own personal stories that happened. I have been what people have considered rolled before. Have you ever heard of that word?
Rolled?
Rolled.
No. Is that like a slang term?
No, it's a term what people use when they try to attract a gay man to mug them because they're targeting because they're gay. So a group of men will target a gay man, mug them, beat them up because of that. Because they were initially targeted for being queer and they flirted with them. And they was like, oh yeah, let's hang out. And then they mugged them. That has happened to me. I have been rolled before. They attempted to mug me. Do
you mind telling? You have to. I'm like you're alluding, but if you don't mind, you can tell us.
I don't. Okay, it actually happened when I was 19.
Oh my God, you were young. Oh my God. See, those things are traumatizing. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was young. I was on one of those dating apps.
Okay. Oh my God, they are off an app?
Yeah, they're
like they coerce you like that. I'm thinking like at the club or something. No, this is like an effort.
It's an effort. They coerce you on the app. And I went to Country Club Hills. I don't know, so people may know that place. And I was meeting one guy. And the thing is, it was kind of a catfish, but it was him, but 30 pounds more kind of thing. So I was like, oh, it is him.
Oh, so he knew what men was. He's like, I wasn't even looking for you, buddy.
And so I was like, okay. And then, so that was the first hesitant. And so I was driving my mom's Durango at the time. And I picked him up at a parking lot. Luckily, I met him during the day. I only met guys during the day at this time. I wasn't like trying to meet people at night because I was so hesitant, because I was so young. And as soon as he got into the car, he started acting funny. And I wasn't really picking up on the signs as much. He was asking like, oh, that's a really nice phone. Oh, you have a really nice car. Things like that. I was like, oh, thanks. I appreciate it. I just thought he was gassing me up, like I'm not getting confidence and stuff.
Yeah.
And another guy comes into the back of my seat. He in the front pulls out a gun and says, give me everything you have. Yes.
Bro, I would have been like, take all my shit. Take it all. Take the Durango. Take that. I'll jump out.
This is where... this is the first and only time I think I've dealt with such an intense moment. And when you deal with intense moments like this, you really figure out a lot about yourself. And one thing I figured out a lot about me is I don't have as much fear as I should have, I think, in life. Like, I looked at this man and I told him, this is my mother's car. These are my objects. I will not let you have them. with this gun in his hand. I'm so serious.
Wait,
I'm so serious.
You said this is not gonna happen. You said, "Listen, man, this is not today."
And
you said
so
no.
it was just like he kept saying things after that. I was like, I'm not giving you anything. And then he was like, scream, I shoot you. If you do this, I'll shoot you. And I was like, I'm not. I slowly unclicked my seatbelt and opened my door. And that's when he hit me on the side. I'm so serious. I roll out the car and then I scream so loud, like extremely loud, and stand up. And that's when I realized that I'm actually much taller than both of them. They didn't reach my shoulders. And they ran away because it was daytime and I was screaming like a football player. And that was when I almost got attempted.
And they got scared.
Yeah. So it was a very intense moment for me.
You said not today. You said it's gonna go down, and this Durango we got. So
my mom's Durango, man. I can't come back home without my mom's Durango.
Oh my goodness. So now, aftermath of that was that trauma. Obviously, that's traumatizing. Yes. That's like the biggest thing that scares me the most. Knock on wood. Lord Jesus, Jesus, no, I love him. What was that like for you, and advice for people? And that happens more than often than I'd like. But what is your advice for coping, dealing with that? Like, what are some things, or if it didn't bother you as much?
Advice first is like always be, especially if you're queer, safety preventive measures. One thing that I did right, the only thing I did right, was meet these people during the daytime.
Yes, you did. Yep.
That was probably the only thing I did.
And where were you at? Or you said the country what?
Country Club Hills.
What is that?
It's the south suburbs of Chicago.
Oh, so that's just a city.
Yeah, it's like a suburb of Chicago.
Were you in a parking lot or a?
Yes, I was in a parking lot. Yeah.
Okay.
And so that was the only thing that I did right in that situation. But I knew that after that, I had to do more to protect myself because people are out here to get me. I learned that from that. Like, people are literally out here to find me and hurt me.
That's real.
So I have much more barriers now.
You can't be naive. You know what it is. Whatever. That's okay.
No. And it was something that I hope that if anybody here is watching who is queer, that they take that from this story, is to make sure that you really put in safety preventive measures to protect yourself in this crazy, crazy world. And also, if something does happen to you, please tell somebody as soon as possible. One thing that I didn't do, actually, I did go to the police afterwards and write a report, but luckily because I was 19, they didn't have to tell my parents. I honestly kept this for many, many years because I was embarrassed. I didn't know who to go to for it, and it was something that I felt like I had to deal with a lot by myself.
So how long did you wait, and what made you? Was it like weighing heavy on? I promise I always be like, I'm not going to tell my mom this, and I tell her every time.
Mm-hmm. I didn't actually. I still haven't really directly told my mom this story. She's heard more from.
Oh no! Breaking! Oh no! Sorry, Mama.
She knows about it now, but she knows about it because I told my auntie. You know.
Okay.
And so it was just because one thing that my mom was so afraid of when I came out to her was how the world was going to treat me. She had a very strong reaction, but not because I was gay, because of how the world would treat me. And I know that this would crush her to know that you was
hurting or in danger, almost. Yeah.
I'm her baby boy. Like,
that's scary. Having a gun pulled on you is scary.
Yes, very scary. And so it was like, it was just something that I felt like I was protecting my mother from. Like, I was protecting my mother from the world treating me so shittily. Sorry if I'm saying.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. But hey, you got to take it full circle. And now, tell us your great news and what you have to share and how you can find love and the happy. Yeah. And go share with us, Cookie LeB.A.P, your relationship that you overcome and what's going on with you.
Full circle. Now that I have been taking safety preventive measures, I have made a great guy. We've been together for 4 years, and as you know, I have popped the question, and we are now engaged.
Ooh.
Yes. Oh, I'm gonna show the ring.
Yes. If you like it, then you should have put a ring. Okay, so the best caption that I saw was "Don't post me on the gram," and until I get the ring. Yes, you guys.
if you ain't, what
It
was
was the caption. Okay, let me tell everybody. So it was a caption on Cookie LeB.A.P's Instagram of Cookie and Curtis, and they were hanging out, and they were sitting. What y'all sitting on the bench, right?
Yeah, sitting on the bench with some flowers.
Yeah, yeah.
Out like this. It was, I loved it. Let me bring it up. It was
Yes,
Cardi
yes.
B's.
Yes,
Cardi,
yes.
if there's
I
no,
can actually, I can pull it. Is it okay if I pull it up?
oh yeah, please pull it up. Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna pull it up. But go ahead. Tell them how you met. It's Pride Month, so we're celebrating.
Oh yes, definitely. So I met Curtis actually 4 years ago, and he had recently came back from teaching in Detroit.
Yes, ding ding ding. I love it.
And our first date, actually, before like that a certain situation, I met him first at more of a coffee shop at first, and like more of like a parking lot. And he said, "Hey, I really like you. I think," and like the first thing he said to me as soon as he saw me was, "Wow." Because I kind of look better in real person than in my pictures. I feel.
Look at how you smiling. This is them, y'all. This is them. I said, wow. You said, oh, I like him.
Yes, exactly. Like as soon as he saw me, he was just captured by my beauty. So I was like, I'm already in for it. Okay.
I love it. I love it. That actually really tickled me. That's so funny. And that's how I am. Say, oh, little old me.
And then, of course, I love somebody who's savvy. He's like, so I have a coupon for Noodles and Company. And I was just like, Noodles and Company? Coupon? I'm in. He was
Noodles.
like, I was in that. So my first date with him was at Noodles and Company, which I thought was perfect.
I love that.
After that, he's just been with me ever since.
Ever since?
Yeah, ever since. And it's been...
I love that.
I loved it. It's a story I'll never forget. And afterwards, we walked around NIU Lagoon on the parking lot. NIU's Lagoon,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it was just beautiful at night. The fog was out. I just knew like that date was just so perfect that it was definitely something I was going to last. So yeah, I do want to express that. Yeah, the world may be a little tough out here for queer people, but it also is beautiful out here for queer people.
And it can come full circle. So
Yeah.
hey, that's a beautiful thing. I love. I love you. I cannot wait to come see you very soon in y'all endeavors. I'm so excited. So for the marriage to come. So you guys, we had a great conversation today, and I want to make sure everybody's hitting that subscribe button. And I really want to say thank you to you genuinely for sharing your story and opening up. I know all of this shit is literally, it's tough to talk about.
Yeah.
We talk about other people, do commentary, but it's hard talking about yourself, and especially touchy things like that. And especially with this, I'm so passionate about it, and I love Pride Month and all those things, and but I also love to open my platform to talk about these things because I can't put myself in no one's shoes, and sometimes it's a lot harder, and who would choose to necessarily be different or have adversity? You are who you are, and you're on the right track, baby. You were born this way. No matter gay, straight up, bi, transgender, lesbian, life. Oh my god, I went to that concert, the Born This Way Lady Gaga concert. Oh my lord, best day of my life. That was like back in the day. That was my junior year of high school.
I saw Lady Gaga once at a Pepsi bash.
I cried. Love her. Yes.
I saw her when she came out with that song Love Game. Like, let's
play.
I saw her. She was...
I have to play that song tonight before the nightcap. Let's have some fun. I'm a little monster.
Yes.
In the heart.
I was with it when I saw her that day. I was like, yes, I knew she was going to be big. I saw her because those Pepsi Bash has a lot of stars. So
they got all the up and coming. She was popping then. Still love that Lady Gaga. I have that album like plastered, poker face. Oh my goodness. Oh. Okay. Anyway, we'll kiki about Lady Gaga. Obviously, we'll continue it on for Pride Month. We'll keep it going, and I think that me and Cookie LeB.A.P may be doing the history of how Pride Month started. I know I messaged you and tagged you about it, but maybe we can do a little something for Pride Month and we'll keep it going. It just begun. So yes, I think that will be fun. I've seen it on Facebook. They were talking about the trans Black woman who begun the whole Pride Month in general. the reason why it started. So I think that would be something cool for us to explore and talk about.
Yes, yes.
Right.
And I wanted to, so I also, because I did come to really prepare, so a lot of the stuff that I've been saying, since, like I said before, I am not a trans Black woman, so I did have a discussion before this to make
Nice.
sure that I was being very respectful with my dear friend, Zaya.
Shout out.
Yes, I want to give a little shout out to Zaya.
Special shout out to Zay.
Yes, she's an advocate for all marginalized people, especially trans, non-binary, and queer folks. She is also a YouTuber herself.
Oh, nice. What's her channel?
Her channel name is Slay with Zay, and that's Slay with common spelling ZXAYY. And she also wanted me to add her Insta, which is Pink Princess _ Zay. PINKPRYNCESS _XAYY. Thank you so much, Zay.
All right. Thank you very much, Zay. Make sure you check out their handle, check out what they got for us. And I think that that's so beautiful for you to have this conversation beforehand. And I think that that's just so admirable. And I think it is necessary. And I think that it's respectful. So, hey, respectfully, that's great. I said, in past streams, I've talked about being transgender and non-binary with an actual couple before. And those conversations are always so interesting and so lovely to have because everyone's story is different.
Yes.
And it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. So, happy Pride Month, everybody. If you have negative shit to say, keep it pushing.
Yes.
Make sure you follow Cookie LeB.A.P and like him on Facebook at Cookie LeB.A.P. And make sure you follow him, subscribe, like, thumbs up, and check him out every Monday on Blythe Magazine. What's the tagline? With furry things. What is that? What is the tagline?
Oh, the tagline for Blythe Magazine. It's where I do a Monday positive news commentary segment, and what is my little?
You know it. No.
For Blythe Magazines is Let's Start Looking Onward, because I'm looking onward, and then usually for sensational reviews, I review anything that excites.
Oh, that's the one. Anything? Do that for me, please, again.
Oh yes, no problem. I review anything that excites the senses, whether sight, sound, smell, taste, or touch. So if you want to look at those sensational reviews, please go ahead and go to my YouTube channel. They're super exciting, very cutesy, and just adorable. People say that my videos are very homely, so I really like that. Very humble and homely. So yeah.
I love that. That should be like a brand, like a shabby chic brand at Target.
Yeah.
Humble and home. I like that. Yeah. We're gonna have to work on that. Shark Tank it. But it was still another tagline that you had. It's like something you talk about furry things. You talk about animals. What is that one? You have so many good taglines.
Oh, thank you. So those are my furry shorts. My furry shorts about.
That's the one. Yes. Furry shorts with the animals. Oh, the furry shorts, duh.
Yes, they're all about
please.
My nature and the animals that are in nature, and to not discriminate. They're not just about the furry animals, but the animals with scales and shells too. And I love just to give that like little bit of space for other beings in the world than just humans. I love to make sure Duke, my little puppy right here, who's been doing his cameo appearance.
Yes, I love it.
And since I was a nature counselor, I really have been very connected to animals. Like I was able to have the honor to raise 2 baby raccoons to adulthood.
What?
Yeah.
You raising baby raccoons?
Yes.
How was it? They didn't scare you in the middle of the night?
No, they were like, raccoons, when you're raising them, they are still wild animals, but since they were babies, they did have a little bit of trust in me. Just a little bit, though. So, like, it was so fun when I'll go into the little cabin that we put them in, they would instantly hide. And so I'll have to play hide and go seek, like, peanut butter. They were named with Peanut Butter and Jelly. So I'm like, Peanut Butter, Jelly, where are you at? And I'll have to find them and make sure they're fed.
What happened to them?
Oh, we had this system where...
You ate them. Let me stop. That was so...
No. We had this like kind of way of raising them where we kept the door open a bit. So they would still go out in and out outside, but they kept coming in if they still wanted to get care. And then sooner or later, they would stop coming over. Like they came less and
You
less.
said, I'm a little bit dope. So they like the wild better.
Yes, and so soon to make sure they still were acclimated to the wild, they started to not come back at all, and that's what we were expecting because they still are wild.
Oh, that is such a natural way to do that. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you really know how to take that. That's crazy. So many interesting things. So make sure you check out the very short you guys on Cookie LeB.A.P channel. With that being said, I'll talk forever, but we're not going to hold you up because there's other things for us to do because we're busy people, right? Right? Yeah.
Busy people. You say, oh, you know, I got this ring on my finger. I got a reception plan.
Ooh, other things got to be done. Just saying. So with that being said, we're out of here. I'm on my way to 1,500 subscribers. You guys hit that subscribe button. It is Welcome to China. I talk about happy things. I talk about sad things. And I talk about sad things and mad things. Anyway, with that being said, I'll figure it out one day. I'll see you guys next time. Say bye-bye. Cookie LeB.A.P.
Peace. Thank you so much again. Welcome to the channel. Please subscribe to both of us. Cookie LeB.A.P is Welcome to China. I appreciate it so much.
All right. See you guys later. Bye-bye.